until you graduate from college.
Yay.
Yep. All right. So iPads away. Today is, down. Just don't use them. November 15th, right? And we're going to be solving two-step inequalities. Two-step inequalities. All right. So this goes along with what I taught you last week, Wednesday and Friday, which was, remember we did the 4, right? What do I do when it's multiplication, division, adding, and subtracting, right? We do the opposite. So now we're going to be doing the same thing, just it's going to take so we're going to go 2x plus 12 is greater than or equal to, let's say, 36. Okay? So our inequalities get a little bit longer, and it's going to take us 2 steps to solve. Tomorrow is going to take us more than 2 steps. Okay? So we get our notebook out, we're writing this down, we're paying attention, and we're learning. Okay? This you'll use literally until you graduate from school. Whenever that is. Whatever level you go to, you're going to be needing this skill that I'm about to teach you. Okay. So, your goal is to get x by itself, right? So you have 2 numbers on the side with x. You have the number 2 and you have the number 12. And it does matter which one you move first. Okay? I have to move the 2, I have to move the 12 to the other side to get x all by itself. And it does matter what I move first. You have to move the number that's furthest away from the x first. That's on the same side. So here's the same side. Which number is furthest away from the x? 12. That's the first number you move. It does matter. It does affect your answer if you don't move the 12 first. So I move the 12 first. That's your first decision. How do I move it? What math do I use?
Minus 12.
Minus 12. Minus 12. Since this is addition, the opposite is to minus. I'm going to do it to both sides. This is why we did this last week. 36 minus 12?
24.
24. Bring down your inequality. Now here, 12 minus 12 is 0. That's what I want, so I don't have to write it down. But I do have to bring this down. I haven't done anything with the 2x, so I'm just going to write it down. So just bring it straight down. Well, not really straight, but at an angle. Now, I want x by itself. What's the next step?
Put the 2 down.
Divide. Mathematically, I have to divide. Since it's together, and we know when it's together, it means multiplication, you have to do the opposite. So you have to divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay? So 24 divided by 2? 12. Bring down the greater than or equal to. 2x divided by 2? X. So x is greater than or equal to 12. And that's it. Now let's graph it real quick. Your grades for the test are up on Canvas. Most of you got 100% or you missed maybe 1 or 2. Okay, open or close circle? Close. And to the right. What was that? Judging by the conversation I had with Andre, yes. But I haven't checked because my Aries works. Are you okay? It's 2-step. Most important thing is to remember that you'll be doing this. We're getting close to be.
It's not that confusing.
No, it's not. Especially if you understood what we did last week. This is just building upon something we learned last week.
It's like doing it again.
Correct. Putting 2 things together. Yes, Jeffrey.
What makes you divide it by 2?
Because this means multiplication. 2x is the same thing as 2 times x. But we don't write the dot.
Do we write that down?
No.
Okay.
So 2x means 2 times x. Okay? Like anything else, you see the operation, right? You see the operation. Even in division, you see the operation. The multiplication is the only one that's like hidden. We hide the dot. When it's pushed together, it means multiplication. So that's why the opposite is to divide. X divided by 5 minus 15 is less than 40. All right. So here's our inequality. We have 5x minus 15 is less than 40. Okay, what's the number that's furthest away from the x on the same side?
15.
That's the first number you move. So once you decide, oh, 15 is the number I'm moving, cool. How mathematically do you move it? Plus 15 plus 15. On this side, you do the math. 40 plus 15, 55. Bring down your inequality. Now, this is a minus 15 plus 15. That gives you 0. A minus 15 plus 15 gives you 0. Yay. I'm left with x over 5 is less than 55. Okay, how do I move the 5? Multiply by 5. Since this line means division, the opposite would be to multiply by 5, multiply by 5. Yay, let's have fun. You're left on this side with x is less than 55 times 5. 55 times 5. 375? 275? Cool. Oops. $275. Perfect. And then we're going to graph it. 225, 275, 276, 274, 273, 277. Open or close circle? Open and then shade to the left. Y'all remember the shortcut for graphing, right? Yes. Any questions? We're okay? 2 steps. It's going to be super important for you guys to understand the 2 steps. It's important for you to understand, what do I move first? Yes, there's a difference. Yes, it affects your answer. It's kind of like order of operations. It's actually the opposite of order of operations. It's called SAD-MEP.
What?
SAD-MEP.
Sad what?
MEP.
When you do that sound, it confuses me.
Yes, we talked about that before. SAD-MEP. No. It's the opposite of order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, PEMDAS. The opposite is SAD-MEP. So when you solve equations, you're first going to be doing adding or subtracting, then multiplying or dividing, and then exponents and parentheses. So it's the opposite of order. To solve these problems, you do the opposite operations. But it kind of sometimes confuses kids, so we just say, hey, whatever's furthest away, move it. Okay, here's a tricky one. Harder one. Hardest of the day.
We only done 3.
Hardest of the day.
Now I know why.
Why? Ooh, looks super hard. It can be, but it won't be, because I'll teach you. Okay. So what I need you to see is, like, there's a difference. Do you guys see how this division bar is over the whole problem? Right? And like the one that we just finished, the division was just underneath one, like the x divided by 5, right? The minus 5 was separate, right? And then this one, it's divide everything by 6. Do you guys see the difference between the setup? Okay. So for this one, tricky question. Which number is furthest away from your x?
6.
The 6. 6. So you're going to move the 6 first, which is contrary to SAD-MEP, but whatever. That's why it's tricky. So you're going to move the 6 first. How do I move the 6?
Times 6.
Times 6. Because this is division, so the opposite is to multiply. So you're going to multiply all of this by 6 and all of this by 6. Okay? What happens here? Looks super complicated, but all you did is just eliminated the 6. Just eliminated the 6. You're left with x plus 4. Bring down your inequality. 10 times 6. 60. Then our last step is to
Get rid of the 4.
get rid of the 4. How do I mathematically get rid of the 4?
You subtract 4.
Subtract 4 on both sides. So we're left with x is greater than
Greater than 56.
56. Because 60 minus 4 is 56. We can draw our 56. 50, yes.
In 7th grade, did we learn square root?
Square root. We will towards the end of the year. It's not a 7th grade.
How it's like a B and then it has a line.
Yep, like that division sign. Oh, if I could only say what I'm actually thinking.
Is it about me?
I mean, I try to teach it to you so it doesn't become hard. My job is to present to you new material, make it easy for you to learn. So my goal is to make you feel like I'm not teaching you anything hard, when I am, but hopefully I teach it in a way that goes like, oh, well, this is easy. Then it's like, yes.
Well, then the student will say, no, it's not.
Well, I have kids that say that all the time.
What? That's not me.
No, never you.
No, that's never.
Para nada.
Right?
Right. I totally agree with what you just said.
This is.
Let's do this one. Oh, yeah.
Are we gonna do another one?
No, I just wrote this down for no reason.
Do it alone?
No. You can get a head start. What number are you going to move first?
The 12?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is a negative 48. So what's negative 48 plus a positive 12?
Negative 36.
Very good. Negative 36. So yes, the rules that we learned like months ago do come into play. Bring down your inequality. Then you're left with 2y. What's my last step? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Y is less than or equal to, ooh, what's a negative 36 divided by a positive 2?
Negative 18.
Very good, guys. So we can cross that out, cross that out. We're left with the negative. We're going to draw our bars. Negative 18, negative 19, negative 20, negative 17, negative 16. Open or close circle. Closed. And we're going to shade this way. Yes? No? Maybe so? I don't think I'll give you any negatives on today's worksheet, but
And what answer did you get?
I got negative 18. Y is less than or equal to negative 18.
Yay!
Any questions?
No.
All right. Did I make